Well, and so the big news last week was I think Salesforce. I don't know if they surprised people or not, but I mean, based on the reaction, it seemed like it was maybe a surprise. They went full headless, and they basically said, like we want to be used everywhere across all of our all of the different agents. And I see that as a little bit of a bellwether because I think as Salesforce goes, so does a lot of enterprise software. And I think a lot of people are going to try and have to figure out what is the new business model in this headless world. Do you charge a little bit of a small just API tax? Is there a seat for the agent? So there's obviously some work to do with that. And Stephen, I saw one of your tweets on, some of the complications there. But I think as a moment, it's a big deal because I think it's a recognition that software will be running in the background. It always has for machine users and applications, and now it is for these sort of probabilistic machine users or non-deterministic machine users. And what's cool and where I think this gets pretty exciting is, as soon as I saw that announcement, like I had like 5 to 10 personal use cases where I would need, the headless version of Salesforce because I'm always doing just a tremendous amount of customer related intelligence work. I'm going into a meeting, I need some information. I'm going into a city, who should I be meeting with? And so if you imagine, being able to run compute in the form of agents across all of your data systems, like the use cases become, pretty wild around what that opens up. So I think this gives a lot of software platforms all new use cases that they can tap into where again, you were normally constrained by the number of people on these platforms, but now the headless user can be, 100 or 1,000x the scale of those human users. So this is I think an exciting moment because as you have more of these agents running around and the headless software modes, you just have way more use cases for these tools.
I also think I think on this one,
please.
What's so super cool is that of course the first step is doing exactly what you described, which is just looking stuff up. And so the most interesting thing is using this notion that an agent is just an entity. It's incredibly obvious to me that it's another license. Now, it might have a different license model, but it has to have an identity. Like when you go look something up in the Box CRM system, I don't know if it's Salesforce or not. When you use the Box CRM system, it has to be a person, like with a certain amount of access rights. And you presumably as CEO, you might have access to a bunch of stuff, but also there's a lot of ways that they actually don't want you to have the rights at the right time. Like you